still visualizing the threesome with 2 guys and 1 girl. I can't get the nut sacks out of rubbing each other out of my mind now. Something like that. I'm still over here laughing. I had a builder. I had a builder ask me once, hey, have you ever thought about having a threesome? And I go, fuck you, I'm not going to rub nutsack with you. And he goes, no, with 2 girls.
Hey, you the one. Who you mad with, man? You the one. You sound like you mad, that right? Go on. What he said?
That is a horrid noise coming out of his mobile. It sounds like a Ford touchscreen.
Oh, shit. G-Man's a dirty messenger.
Hey, fuck you, 470, where'd you go, you piece of shit? Fucking guy gets out here fucking talking again, his shit and he goes away. What the fuck? Where'd you go, homie? Fucking guy gets out here, this, that, and the other, and whatnot. Now, I'm out here, man. I'm just checking in, checking out, checking it out, checking it in, going this way, going that way, this, that, and the other, whatnot. I'm listening to the shit shit show in the Kona. I got old shit show in the Kona, old chicken shit number 3. Old chicken shit number 3. And I'm over here, this, that, and the other one now. I'm hauling off and getting down in this dub, plugging in with my little 6-watt bird station identification. Come out. Come on.
Sounds like somebody's filming themselves out there. Sounds like somebody's filming themselves out there. I'm over here just sitting on all power. What's up with you out there, Skywalker 377? The number 1 MVP? Sitting on top of Modesto Town? Hey, waving my hand your way. I'm working on this Palomar meter right here.
No, I'm just sitting back, listening to chicken shit 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chicken shit 1, 2, 3. No, I'm just sitting back, man. I'm doing a little bit of song singing and flower bringing. Let me change this, where did it go? Anyway, I didn't change my settings so I can get some more modulation. This one's got modulation like a motherfucker, but, no, man, I'm just sitting over here taking around, having a good time with my radio, and probably be calling it a night here shortly, and heard you out there doing your natural born thing, so I figured I'd key down this little mud duck 6-watt bird. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing about 4.5 watts bird, and shit, I ain't got to impress nobody, man. Just out here listening to 1, 2, 3 out there. Just sitting out here listening to 1, 2, 3, chicken shit 1, 2, 3, no doubt about it. And then I'm on my YouTube page watching that the 1, 2, 3's choking a chicken at the bus stop, no doubt about it. Hey, 470, just watching the chickens choking chickens. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Yeah, I just got back over here. Oof, that was a hard one to push out. But yeah, I just got back over here to the house. I went to my buddy's house. He had a couple of vacuum issues on his 360 on, he has a 63 Galaxy over there. I think I talked about it to you already. Got back over, got that going. He had a 750 double pumper Holly. I don't think he has the jets on it adjusted right, and I kind of messed with it lightweight. But to be honest with you, I told him, man, you get that 1.5 year old gasoline out of there, he has about a quarter tank. I'm like, run it until you get to 1/8 of a tank or something, or until you feel uncomfortable. Fill that foam in there, just one full thing of seafoam. He has an 11-gallon tank. And then fill it up with gas. And after you run that tank, bring it over to my house, man, and we'll work through that carburetor. That's 4 jets, man. I get it. It's a performance carburetor, but it's a street car, dude. Put something that just has 2 jets, reliable, runs real good. It's not like you're going to be doing a 1/4 mile on fucking stock tires. But that car fucking... I got a video of it. I should send it to you. That thing loads like a motherfucker. He has like the biggest cam you could put. On older cars, it's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. I know that you can talk about overlap and lobes and cam lift and all that kind of stuff, but it's a stage 3 cam. It's a comp cam. Comp? Yeah, that's the brand, comp cams. Fucking sounds awesome, dude. Big old engine at that. I'll send you a picture right now and a video.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff, dude, as you know. I ran a 950 horsepower sprint car. I ran a 500 horsepower fucking 4-cylinder midget. I ran a 4-cylinder fucking 600, put out 156 horsepower. And of course everything, sprint car, midget, micro, all on alcohol. And they all got the name on them. They will kill you if you don't respect them. But no, man, that's super cool. I really, big fan of that kind of shit. Super cool. That's what I'm about, man. Oh, I changed channels. What the fuck? We all live to a point to where, at least me, anyways, for instance, raced all over the country for 35 years, and I'd rather say I did it than I should have. But when you have a street car like you do, and then when you see your friends got them, helping them out and shit, it's super cool, man, because not everybody gets a chance to have that type of stuff, Not everybody gets an opportunity to have some really nice street rod or some custom setup, or just even a hot rod. It don't have to be nothing special. Just having it's fucking super cool. A lot of people, like I said, man, oh man, I should have done this, or man, I should have bought me that. Nah, man. Wishing you did because you're thinking about you had an opportunity and you didn't. That sucks. And I can honestly say, dude, just like you, I've been there. But knowing people like that and you helping them out, that's super cool, dude, because he probably loves the shit out of that vehicle, and it's probably got some sentimental value. It probably came from a family member, or a grandpa, or an uncle, or maybe a dad, And even then, maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just a fucking passion that he had when he was younger.
Actually, it's funny you ended with that right there, because it was his dad's car. And he told me even right as I was leaving, because we were rolling up all the windows, because, when you start driving around in one of those old cars, you roll down the front windows and the back windows. And yes, the back windows roll down, even though it's a two-door. That's how the old schools worked. And it's pretty cool, too, because it just doesn't go down. It leans forward, the back window. It's pretty cool. But we drove around, dude. It has a straight, what will you say, it has a posi rear end. You know how it was, man. It's an heirloom vehicle for him. But he got the engine rebuilt, all that kind of... He's actually a millwright, and he rebuilds... Come on, don't rev it. Has a huge cam inside of it, either way. I'll just stop that. It's probably making all this kind of fucking weird feedback in the radio, not sounding the way I want it to, but man, dude, that thing fucking goes, dude. It goes. Has a manual valve body, too, inside that transmission. Fucking goes. Was that too much for the audio from the phone?
It just sounded like you were just... had a bucket and you're fucking beating the shit out of a bucket with a stick. But no, I just watched the video at the same time we did that, I turned the volume down, so. No, man, that's how they roll right there, bro. And I could just remember the days, man, when I was younger and all my buddies. That's why I said what I said, you just don't go out and buy a car like that, bro. I mean, at least we wouldn't. Not to say it's not a cool ass car, but we don't. And to say that his dad, that thing that fucker looks like it's in pretty good pristine shape too, man. Those cars are worth a pretty penny. You're looking at probably 45 to 50 grand sitting right there, just the low end. That car, he's sitting on some dough right there, bud. And by the sounds of it, it's probably worth around 60 to 75, more around that ballpark, because I know my buddy just sold a 66 Chevelle, and he got 85 grand for it, but it was totally gone through top to bottom, and it was fucking badass. Kind of like Motormouth Mall did. Same thing with Motormouth Mall, but I think Motormouth Malls was the 69, right? Wasn't that 69 that he had?
69, and not only that, it was a SS69, dude. That thing was fucking cherry. It had a trans brake in it and everything. So fucking, it was ready, street strip, Everything about that Galaxy, all the chrome is there, everything's there. It did say Galaxy 500 on the side. He has that to the side right now. It's not on the driver's side. On the passenger side, it's still there, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I might be backwards on it. I didn't fucking walk around the car with a magnifying glass, but yeah, that car is pretty fucking original. You go to the interior, it's 100% original. No tears, no nothing. It's always been a garage car. But yeah, that guy's a fucking genius, dude. He was showing me videos how they, there's a whole bunch of dams out there in the Sierra Nevadas that, like, just random dams and lakes. They fly them helicopter to each one of those dams to rebuild the fucking turbines and all that kind of stuff, and the bushings on the generator and the shafts. He's the foreman of it all, so he kind of like bids it out and does all that kind of work. And yeah, dude, it was pretty cool. Had a good fucking whiskey drink with him too. Like he had some fucking $100 whiskey over there. I thought, man, dude, this guy got it.
I can drink some whiskey and piss in a fucking jar for you and wait for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll tell you it's worth a bunch of money if you want to try it. No, that's super cool, dude. You know, that's what makes it all fun. When you go and do something like that for somebody, and they appreciate it too, dude. I'm sure that dude was like, hey, dude, you gotta have a shot of this fucking stuff and whatnot. And he appreciated it, bro. And you know what, dude? That's what it's all fucking worthy right there. I mean, I miss the days, bro. And, you know, I told you today, I've told you today, I've told you many times, I've said, Kaboom was over here today. And you know the situation's going on. I miss racing, bro. I really do, but I just can't get in the car no more. I can't do it. It's one of those things that how bad do you really want to do it? And how bad can it really be? You know, I thought you'd go get in the car and I'd tear myself up, dude. It could be the end of it. And man, I sure love getting out here and tormenting these fucks out here on the radio, so I could go to the track, help my brother, just like you're going and helping your buddies keep your shit going. You know, you may not get to drive your car around a whole bunch, but you would like to, but you're going and helping people like that, and them respecting it and enjoying you doing that for them. It's like going and helping my brother, and my brother even fucking, you know, in the situation going on, and he even told me himself, he goes, I know how hard it is for you to come to the track, brother. And I said, no, that's why I haven't been there since 2018, but he keeps trying to put me out there, and it's like you. You put your head up, you put your chin up, and you go and help him, man. I'm just struggling with it, man. I miss that whole thing. Hearing them motors like that, dude, and doing what you just did tonight, see, that right there is, oh, man, that's what it's all about. Smelling the exhaust, and, oh, yeah.
Well, there's no sense in just getting away from it, especially if that's like your love, you know. Those who can't, I mean, you could say this saying for a whole bunch of things, but, you know, those who can't drive fucking work on motors, you know what I mean? Is you don't got to walk away from it all. You can still be involved in it all. You're just involved in a different way. And that's just, you gotta pass the torch to the 14-year-old kid on the up and coming eventually, because that's what's always going to happen since day one on Earth is the young always take over, and it's fucking tough because the mind is still there. Yeah, that guy, I've known him since high school, actually. I didn't really hang out with him too much. Well, we partied together, but it wasn't like we hung out. We weren't the same crew. And always a good cat, you know. He ended up being my brother-in-law's neighbor. And ever since then, we always, you know, kept in contact because fucking we got muscle cars. Dude, I went over there, just fixed some vacuum problems, got his car back up running, and then we drank. He kept trying to get me to smoke weed. I won't smoke weed, though, because, that's not it for me. And then he just slipped me $150 after, dude. I just walked away. I was like, fuck, dude. I put that down on all the money I've been spending at Lowe's lately trying to fix up my house. Well, I've been fixing up my house, but you know, I always put some money on the books, you know what I mean? So that always helps out. And I had a fucking good time. Today was a hell of a day, man. Got the beam up. You know, you and me did our thing. And that was cool. Fucking mosquitoes, dude. They're on full force right now. Got the beam up, got the SWRs down, got the coax tuned. You know, got works coming up on Thursday. Got that car going good, dude. Some days are just tits, and I'd have to say today's a tits day. I talked to One Eye, got some things rolling on with him too, and that's a good thing. You know, not many times everything just rolls through, and then you're on vacation too, man. I say we all can't complain. But I'll tell you what, listen to that motor chug a lug. Whew, got me goosebumps when I heard it.
Oh yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's the shit that keeps me fucking striving, man. Dude, if I knew that there was somebody out here, or even your boy, I wouldn't even. My wife will not let my daughter get in a race car. Absolutely not. She would get in a heartbeat. You know my girl. All four of my girls. Now my boy, he'd get in a race car in a minute, but he lives so far away and he's dedicated to his family and shit. He already told me, Dad, I'll do it. But if I knew that I could get your boy or somebody out here that had respect, you got so many avenues, so much. Dude, you already know. You know what's up. You've been around it. You know me. But, yeah, my brother's still doing his thing. And it's super cool. But, yeah, dude, today was badass. I gotta admit, I gotta go along with you, man. It's kind of nice being able to have people you fucking click with, being able to fucking wrench, fires, this, boom, bang, boom. Adjust, it's just, I'm not trying to fucking toot any of our horns, just, when you have somebody with you that knows and has a direction to go in, such as yourself and, me and whatever, it's super cool to be able to click like that, because, we started at, 10:30, almost 11, dude, 2.5 hours, dude, we fucking did a hell of shit, because when I got home, I was like, damn, dude, I looked at the clock, I was like, damn. That didn't take very long. I expected, but like you said when I was over there, dude, knowing where the direction, know where to start, self-motivated, self-starter, the whole nine yards, I agree with you, man. It was a good clicking, it was a badass, don't give a flying fuck kind of day. And at the end of the day, right now at fucking 11-something at night, sit back, take a deep breath, drink a cold brewski, and get down with it.
Dude, and another point I just want to put on that is it is something, somebody shows up for help, and all it is help is like, oh, what do you want me to do? And that's like the question of the day is what you want me to do. That's help. I mean, I'll take that any time too. But you said even right there, it's like we spent 2 hours on this whole thing. And all it was, we already had some of the elements on the right length from days before when you came over. But it's just like, hey, what do you want me to do? And I'm just like, go do this. Vague instructions. And then it's like, you just went off and took care of it. I went off to the other side. You got 2 jobs going on at the same time. You know how to figure out problems. I know how to figure out problems. And all we need to do in between that talking-wise is a little bit of shit-talking, And things just move hella smoothly when 2 people know what's going on when they're working. And it's fun that way, man. It makes the job so much better. And when I say job, I mean it makes the process better, because a job is what I do when I drive to work at fucking 11:30. It was a fun process, dude. And then we called it quits, and then all of a sudden I fucking just picked up that antenna. It's like it's going to the roof, like no planning. It went up there. Our swerves were horrible. Fucking one little shimmy before you knew it. It's better than most people accept on their own antenna. Better than most people accept on their antenna. Like somebody's like, 1.3 is good. Hell the fuck no, dude. It was like a 112 or something like that. And like I was getting pissed off because it wasn't breaking that 1-1. And when I say 1.1, it's 1.121. You know, you know how your antenna is and my antenna is. It's like it has to be a 1.0 to 1.04 to 1, like, and then that's when you could get that reflect almost in nothing. Look at your mobile, dude. 1 watt reflect. How much forward? That's fucking outstanding.
Well, when you open up a can of whoop ass, I mean, it's kind of like watching Popeye. When Popeye gets fucking pissed off, dude, he doesn't open up the can of spinach and eat half the fucking can, dude. So when you open up a can of whoop ass, we open that motherfucker, and I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? So when it all came down to being said and done, we knew what we were gonna do. It was a little fucking warm. It was fucking, we were in the sun. We knew the fucking capabilities of every direction we were going. We knew that we started. We fucked up a couple times. But the growth and the understanding to where we picked up and we had to fix it and move on, dude, we picked up because, you know what? Not to say nothing about, you know, I'm smarter than this guy or smarter than that guy or smarter than you. Knowing that you've fucked with these type of situations or you've had an antenna or a beam or all these things, dude, totally come into perspective. And then you doing your homework, you getting your everything in your head in perspective. Once it was all said and done, dude, it was just click, 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 click. And when the fucking bell rang for recess, you and I fucking kicked balls, put it up, boom, bang, pow. And it was just like, this isn't going to work. But when we both, when you looked at me and then I looked at you and I said, dude, let's just start from scratch, just slow down a little bit. And you took a deep breath, you laid on your back on the roof, and bam, dude, that motherfucker was like, it was like Ultraman. The robot I was talking about earlier, Ultraman. You were like Ultraman, dude. You reached up, boom, bang. I was like, oh, dude, what the fuck did you just do? And you're like, oh, I did this. I'm like, whatever you're doing, dude, you're fucking it. And when that motherfucker went to 46 point something ohms with the 1 point, oh, I was just like, all right, you know what, dude? And then you said, okay, I'm cool, I'm done. When you took that deep breath and you stood up and you realized that, you know what, we accomplished a whole lot in a short period of time, to get that kind of result, you knew it was time to just call it quits and tomorrow's another day. That's what it's all about, man. You can't fucking sit there and kick the beehive or you're going to get fucking stung.
And that works both ways, too, whether you're doing good or bad. You got to know when to fucking just say, okay, we're done. This is good enough. And, like, you know, you work on the mobile don't get running the way you want it to, with what you want it to do. And at a certain point, you just got to walk away. And the same thing with that. Dude, man, as soon as you said, what did you do? It's a 1. And I was just like, whoa, and I fucking got goosebumps. And I was like, I touched the, you know, I was thinking, I shorted this thing out with my hand. But normally we short it out. That's because that gives you infinite SWR. But that went good. And I'm like, give me the tape. And I did the most Chauncey fucking move, and it worked. And that was just cutting corners, dude. There's so much more room for improvement. I want those ohms to be at least a little bit above 50. Being above 50, it will give you a hotter signal, actually. Being below 50 will give you a less hotter signal, and your amp will run a little bit cooler. 50 is everything's resonant. You know what I mean? That's where you want to be impedance-wise. And I say all these things because I read a lot about it. I don't fully understand it completely, but I understand where numbers need to be. And a big, 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 big shout out, because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't know those things, all that research, without Motormouth Mall. You know, I talk to him, and it's not even like, oh, I got this privilege, I'm trying to be bigger than everybody else. No, that guy talks to everybody. He'll give everybody technical support. He's trying to build up the hobby. And he'll always, always, always respond to you, no matter who you are in your walk of life. Well, if you're an idiot or asshole, he won't respond to you. But if you're humble and you sound like you have a good head on you, he'll always respond. And I have to, number one, say, big ups on him. I wouldn't have figured out any of that. He's the one that plugged me in with the program to build the antenna for the numbers. He's the one that plugged me in for the Balun and explained it to me in a stupid way, because at first I was just like, why are you shorting it out? That makes no sense, you know? And then even when we did it, man, that was the last thing I was going to do, but I didn't realize that was the necessary thing we needed to do to drop that SWR. And super learning experience. All the numbers plugged in, worked awesome. Everything I used parts from different antennas. You know, going to Modesto Steel, buying me a 25-foot boom, you know what I mean? Doing all those things, dude. It's all just pieced together with information. Big ups to Motormouth Mall. John Bartel or something. I think Bartel. That guy's a fucking amazing guy, dude. He is a tribute to the radio community for however long, longer than I've ever even known about CB is even something. But the time that we spent today fucking getting that through is fucking amazing, dude. That antenna is going to be killer. I didn't realize it, but I need to stretch that antenna another 1.5 feet off the front end.
Yeah, so, no, John is a super cool dude. You know, back when I met him, and rest in peace, my brother, 4040, Scott. I knew of John Bartel. He was something Bear. He went by. Anyways, I don't remember his original handle, but what's his name? Anyways, a certain individual said, "Man, Motormouth, you got it going on out there." Blah 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 blah. I was at a pop-up shootout in San Mateo. I forget the exact place. It was actually I think it was Half Moon Bay, and I was with 4545 at the time, and that's when I met Motormouth. In fact, he had that truck that had that air module fucking telescopic pole in the back, and oh my dude. I was just amazed by the guy, but he was super fucking cool, super humble, and from that day on, dude, I was a fan. And when you and I met, we started talking about these things and shooting the shit and getting into this, you know, the sound. You and I talked about the sound. We didn't get into, we want to do this, but to the level that you are with John. Super cool, dude. Super fucking badass. Because, like you said, and I'll say it for you, the measurements, the numbers, the direction, the computer input, the whole aspect of being able to get in there, do all the things that he pointed you to, it's super simplified. It's super simple to say, dude, today wouldn't have been as easy as it was. Yeah, there was a moment. But, dude, it all just fell in the lap. And, of course, and I agree with you, man. John is a super dope dude. He helps a lot of people, man. And he does believe in the sport. See, that's the thing is about the sport, dude. A lot of these amp builders, a lot of these transistors, tetrodes, diodes, glass, these guys ain't sharing the wealth no more. John will share it with you. If you're willing to learn, you don't want his time wasted. And you didn't waste his time today, I'll tell you that, because that shit came together like fucking clockwork. It was like having a Motormouth puzzle. He's like, here's all the pieces. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Here's the box. All this shit goes together. Here's the puzzle. Figure it out. And guess what?
Yup. Damn, I need to take a sip. And when I showed him the specs on this antenna, and this was like a week or 2, 3 weeks ago, maybe even, because there's a lot of planning. That antenna's been up on that floor now for about 2 weeks. I showed him the original one. He's like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you should try it out. But then I brought up a couple of things. I'm like, because compare and contrast, you look at everybody else's stuff. And I'm like, what about that front element? At that point, I was getting about 8.9 dB gain. I'm like, what about that front element? It seems like it's a bit narrow, right? And he was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that, because he was looking at the front-back rejection ratio and all that kind of stuff, and how far spread out the SWRs and the reactance was, and it was pretty good. Because there's 3 screens to look at. The azimuth, and then the chart that shows you what your numbers are going to be from this channel up and this channel down, and then the one that shows all the spacings. And I'm like, how come the spacing on this last one's crazy? And he's like, whoa, that's fucking wild. And I went back at it, dude. I pulled that antenna out another 1 3/4 feet, and it went from 8.9 dB gain to 10.2. And when I sent those numbers to that guy, he responded with send it. And I was like, whoo, fuck yeah, dude. That's a confident answer, so I did that, dude. It's a narrow-banded antenna. It's good for 28. It's good for 6. It's amazing for channel 17 so far. And without putting any major power through it so far, just checking it with my meters that we have, our digital meters. But, dude, he shares the wealth. Even the VFO windup, I got that from him. And then after researching it and then confronting him again, he's the one that figured out how to do the VFO windup in the 29 about 10, 15 years ago, dude. That's the motor mouth mall VFO windup that we all do on fucking D whatever. And I just thought, man, and then I read it on forums and stuff, dude. And he's like, nobody gives me credit for that shit. And I'm just thinking, motherfucker, he is a tribute to the community for sure. Raven out there, number 2 viewer on the YouTube.
Well, I'm going to say this again, because it's super cool. Respect for the community is so cool, but 4040, Scott, when he was around, dude, and I don't know if you've ever brought up 4040 before. I know John knows who I am, but probably not, I'm not a hubcap on his fucking, his Mercedes, but 4040, man, he gave a lot of help to, gave a lot of knowledge to, just like he did with you and a lot of people. And 4040 made sure everybody knew it. But, no, man, I can hardly wait. Because I know where you and I are. Dude. I know where you and I are, dude. And these knuckleheads out here talking about their walking sticks and being a chicken shit. Oh, I got a Johnny Walker walking stick. You motherfuckers better save their fucking mug money, dude. And they better have fucking Bullet Bob or somebody run up there to their house and fix it. Because I'm going to tell you something, bro. You know what I got over here? And I'm about ready just to, once it's all said and done, dude, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. When it's all said and done, dude, it's all about what we do. It's not about what we say. It's about what we do. I know a lot of them have a hard time with that, but proof's in the pudding, bro. Proof is in the pudding.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Waving a big old hand up there, Tin Man radio station.
That's a fucking guy right there. I want to, hey. So I bought all this fucking meat. I told you, I bought a fucking whole motherfucking cow, man. We gotta get that old man up there, old Tin Man. Hey, Tin Man, I didn't mean to call you old man, you old man. Hey, old man, I mean, Tin Man. And we gotta get up there and have a fucking, just a barbecue with that guy and, get a game plan, because I guarantee you, bro, we cut that big bad boy's beam up there, I'm not gonna sit out here and talk about the shit no more, but, yeah, these motherfuckers have no idea. Hey, 470, these guys have no fucking idea the beehive we've kicked. They have no idea the shit we got and the knowledge we're doing. They don't have no fucking clue, bro.
No, I know what you're saying.
Right now, this place is a mess because I was cleaning out my shed and all the crap I wanted to rearrange. I got over underneath my deck here, kind of cluttered up and shit. But yeah, I got me a guy now with a boom truck who will pick it up for me. So I got that, and I'm gonna go put together my new coax and make the baling on the end there, and see what happens then.
Well, if you come and look at my house, Tin Man, and my house is pretty clean on the inside, but my garage and my side yard and my backyard are always in a state of rotation and things immaculate and beautiful.
Some dope up there that his mom made up there. When I went up there last time, I was up for a month and a half.
Well, that's the main reason I wanted to go up there, but I wasn't going to be so forward. 377.
I'm telling you, bro, I was up for a month and a half. I fucking made my very own peanut butter and jelly. I mean, I did the peanut butter first. It took me like, I don't know, 3.5 days. But the jelly, woo. Oh man, the fucking dude, I had strawberry, I had fucking raspberry, I had fucking, dude, I had custard, dude, I was up for like a month and a half, and dude, I did peanut butter and jelly.
You're a fucking OG, man.
You call me when you make fig jelly. When you make fig jelly, I'll bring the fucking Portuguese stinky feet cheese over there, dude. And those little Portuguese loaf bread things that they got. And I'll show you what a fucking good breakfast is.
I had pomegranate. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I was one going fast, getting down, getting funky, get back up again. Hey, Tin Man said, man, be careful with this shit. Hey, Walker, be careful. I said, nah, man, don't worry about me. I said, send me home with some shit. He goes, you ain't gonna have to take it home. Just hang out a little bit. He was right. I didn't take nothing home. But man, I made every bit of jam and fucking peanut butter. I made butter that wasn't even butter, but it tasted like butter. I was one cookie done, and I had it all done and spun, and I didn't even have to bring any shit home.
One strawberry left in Tuolumne County.
Which one of you guys was talking about one time you took some acid with one of your friends and it was on paper blotter, and you know you tore off a little corner for yourself and you gave him the whole sheet, and he didn't know you're supposed to tear the paper off for a corner. He ate the rest of the fucking sheet. Ooh, was that one of you guys?
Now that was me, dude. We were talking about mushrooms. It was mushrooms, dude. My boy fucking had an eighth of mushrooms, and he fucking took the head off the mushroom and said, hey, just be real careful. Don't eat all the stems, but just eat the heads off of them. Well, I ate all the stems, and holy fuck.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Well, I was pretty young. I just got out of youth authority camp, and I was as clean as he could possibly be. And my boy was like, oh, I got some fucking shrooms, dude. I'm like, dude, I love shrooms, man. And fucking the feeling's super cool. He goes, well, I'll eat the heads off them, but don't eat all the stems. The heads are gonna fuck you up, but don't eat all the stems. And I'm like, okay, so I ate all the stems. That shit fucking ruined me, dude. I was fucking frying for like 3 days.
Yeah, see how you just got out of the pen, you were all totally purged clean, and that's the perfect territory for mushrooms.
Oh, hey, Tin Man. You know, when you're fucking sitting there pissing clean, because I never did hardcore drugs. drugs, you know, like cocaine and acid and fucking, you know, crank and all that crazy shit. I never fucked with that. Well, the first time I ever did it, dude, it was all shrooms. I never fucked with that. I did eventually do acid after that, but I was like 14 years old because I got caught for my third GTA. And when I got out, my boys were like, oh, man, back in those days, Tin Man, you know how it was. Fucking mushrooms were like a dime a dozen, and they was all really, really good shit.
Yeah, that's about the time I was, just got out of the Navy or something, I'm thinking. Around the late 70s.
Well, 81, 82, 86. No. Fucking 1982. Yeah. Now you're probably just getting out of the Navy, dude. Fucking, or you were just getting up there.
Damn, I was born in 95.
Gibson Street.
Hey, Peanut. At the age of 15, I had 6 GTAs. 6 GTAs, dude. But that's not even counting the ones I had before it. I didn't get caught for. I'm not bragging. I probably shouldn't laugh. I'm gonna knock on wood. God bless America. Peace, love, and happiness. I love my mom and dad, my wife, everything. But the shit I did, dude, I would spend more time running up and back to LA making $500 a car. At the age of 14, 15, 16 years old, I made more money in 1 year than most of these motherfuckers out here talking on the radio right now.
Hey, kids grew up a lot faster back in the days. Now all they do is YouTube babies. You know how it is. It's a different world, less responsibilities. All right, I got to give a pause to the cause and go tuck in these kids. I'll let them stay up late now that it's summer vacation time. I'll be back.
Hey, Tin Man, you got all the measurements on that beam up there that you have it, how you did it up there? You got the layout?
Yeah, I got it on the chart that they sent along with it somewhere around here. If not, I can get another one off the line, online. I just went with the measurements that they sent, for it at that frequency.
What is the exact make of that antenna? What is it? Because you wouldn't have to tell us anything much more than that, and then Peanut can kind of just take that and make it happen.
It's a Mako M107.
Okay. Yeah, I got the measurements right here on that. So you basically went by the schematics of the 11-meter side of it?
It had a page with the frequency and each element's length and the location on the beam pole. The lengths, it was on another page.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm looking at it right now. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. We need to hairpin that thing. We need to hairpin it and fucking hot feed it. And then the boom length on that thing should be pretty good. We can narrow band it depending on what you want to do. Take that gamma match, throw that thing to the fucking curb, hairpin that thing, and you'll be able to put as much watts as you want. But I'm looking at it right now, so there might be a little bit we can do to it. I'm not sure. I'm about to talk to Peanut. But yeah, it looks like, dude, that thing's fucking. That's a big ass beam. That's a big ass boom right there.
I just want to get the match down and get one of the elements straight. They got a little bit bowed and plumb it all perfect to gravity, so it's plumb. And get the match down to nothing, and I'll be happy with that.
No. I'm not saying change anything. What I'm saying is get rid of that gamma match and put a hairpin on there. which is not a big deal. I mean, it's gonna actually make that thing perform way better. Way better. I mean, I don't know if you want to do any research on it, but you look up those hairpins, Tin Man, you'll see what I'm saying. But no, I'm looking at that beam right now. I think the only thing I would do is just put a hairpin on it, get rid of that gamma match, just shit can that, and then bring it down, and we fucking diuretic grease every fucking thing and put it back up. And then, like you said, just plumb everything, make everything perpendicular, and that'll definitely make it perform tenfold.
Well, I think if I put a ballon on there, that'll probably absorb a lot of discrepancy in all the issues that I had with the match.
No, I agree. By doing that right there, so you can do what you're talking about with what you got. Totally agree. But if you were to add the hairpin and the ballon, it'd be easier to tune. And you'd be able to, I mean, I don't know what channels you want to talk on, but what I'm saying is you'd be able to do a lot more with the hairpin and the ballon than you would be with the gamma match. And the ballon and the gamma match, they don't like each other very well.
I'll look up on that. I'll look into that.
Yeah, once you see what I'm talking about, you're gonna totally agree. You'll be like, wow, okay. But no, it makes a lot of sense.
Well, as long as I don't gotta go and reset everything to accommodate for that.
The only thing I want to do is you're not going to reset nothing. Your boom, your radials. You may move. Let's see, 7 element. So you may move your two front. You got your directors. D1, D2, D3. So you may extend your D2 and D3 a little bit, but it'll narrow band that antenna out to where your forward gain will be that much more on those frequencies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got about 6 or 8 inches left sticking out in the front on the mast anyway. I mean, on the beam sticking out in the last element.
Exactly. So you may not need that. You might end up coming back with 1 or 2 of them, and that'll actually make you from a wideband to a narrowband. I don't know about you, dude. I talk on 28, 17, and 11. I can care less about 6. I can talk on 6 anytime I want, but I talk on 28, 17, and 11. That's pretty much the only bands I ever go to. And with that big ass beam you got, dude, you ain't gonna have to do a whole lot to it. Trust me, dude. You already know, because I hear you down here. I hear you all the way over into Half Moon Bay, Discovery Bay. I hear you way the fuck over there. So whatever you're doing is working really well. There's just a bunch of room for improvement. Not saying that what you're doing is wrong, but I think that if the little things that you're talking about, the ballon and putting a hairpin on there, that's definitely gonna make that thing fucking insane.
Break 17.
Go get it.
I think if he just did the hairpin and he broke both the elements, like he with the gamma, it always kind of threw the angle off. I don't know how that works on the vertical setting because I know Tin Man runs vertical. Ooh, that was a good bug. And but I don't know how that works. But it can handle a shit ton more power that way, and all that. But if I don't know much about the other ballon thing, but I will say, if you haven't looked into just making your jumpers nulled or tuned or whatever they want to call it, it does change your SWR significantly. It'll make your radio work a whole lot better, and you'll watch your meter not even move as much if just the immediate jumpers around you are set at 50 ohms. And that's all it means when they're tuned. They're just set at 50 ohms. There, 377 on your Mobile, you know what you're putting out, and you have 1 watt reflect in a Mobile, and that's after doing the jumper to your amp, which you got a one driving something, something driving something, and then you got your bird section, of course, coming out your amp, and then you just got your antenna, and we tuned your antenna and the coax in the front, and that whole system just dropped into swerves like no tomorrow.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like Tin Man said, he doesn't want to do a whole bunch of changing and this, that, and the other thing. He wants to do the bow line and whatever, which totally makes sense. I totally agree with him 100%, but all I was trying to throw in there is if he's going to bring it down, tune all the coaxes, put everything in fucking perspective, and I would even go as far as saying once he brings it down, do the bowing, do the hairpin, put that fucker back up. Dude, you and I, or me and Boom, will go up there, spend fucking a couple hours, dude, tune every fucking coax. As you know, we know what the fuck we're doing. It's not like we just woke up yesterday and said, hey, I'm gonna figure out how to tune a coax. This is not our first rodeo, you know what I mean? So, I just want to help the guy out. If he's gonna bring the thing down, let's go fucking extreme. Let's tune his coax, let's do the bowing, let's do everything. Totally down with fucking whatever it takes to do it. Totally down with helping him out.
I'd like to see how the balance thing works out. I've never done one of those before, so that'd be a beautiful learning experience on my end. I know that balance is supposed to be one physical quarter wavelength, not an electrical wavelength. That's the one thing I do know on balance when it becomes coaxes. But making jumpers, it has to be an electrical wavelength. 100 is a little bit over 14 feet for an electrical wavelength for a jumper. Where'd you go, Tin Man? I don't care if your backyard's dirty. Invite me up there whenever you do that antenna thing. I've had a lot of crazy friends. Maybe not any friends that had a dirty house like how you explain Tree Doctor's house or how it looks on the video, but it's been bad.
It's not dirty, it's just not all squared away. AJ squared away like I prefer.
Now, Tin Man, I've been to Tin Man's house. He's super fucking respectful individual. He just wants us to go up there and yeah. All I know is I just want to go up there and fucking do his antenna, sit on his porch, barbecue. I know he's got a badass smoker up there. And me and Kaboom, I just bought a fucking, you already know, Peanut, I bought a shit ass fucking load of a cow. Kaboom just bought a pig just last weekend. I'll bring fucking bacon. I'll bring fucking steaks up the fucking ass. I mean, I don't give two shits, but I've been to Tin Man's house. That fucking guy lives in a fucking straight luxury of life. And yeah. So Peanut, we'll go up there when the guy's ready, and we'll go up there and fucking have a good time. And hey, we will drink his beer. But I'm going to bring beer too, so I want to make sure I don't leave home without it.
Don't worry about bringing no beer. I got beer, but it ain't Bud Light.
Thank God.
Honestly, ain't fucking Budweiser. Did you say Bud Light? I don't even know what that even sounds like anymore. Hey, if you go to my YouTube page, you'll see fucking LeBron up there, fucking standing there with a dunce hat on, drinking a Bud Light. It's funny as shit.
I could never find that. I could never find that wall of shame crap. All I could ever find was the live feed thing with the, with the scroll.
All you gotta do is go to Central Valley CB Radio, and I keep it pretty private, because these guys they've been trying to sue me. They've been trying to get me banned from YouTube. They've been trying to fucking have the sheriff's department involved. Hey, Tim, man, these guys are some cowardly bitches out there. Cowardly bitches.
Send them the link.
Oh, I know. They try to get the cops to do what they can.
Yep, like right now. Hey, Tim, man, if you go to Central Valley CB Radio right now, it's live. You got 6 1/4 choking this chicken, bud. I ain't even shitting you. If you go to Central Valley CB Radio right now, you'll see 6 1/4 choking his chicken. That is a true fact, Jack.
And I don't even like thinking about it when I wasn't watching.
It's pretty funny.
It's not that you're watching somebody doing it. It's just the comical aspect when you see it. You get a good laugh and you can shut it off. But I'm gonna tell you, dude. I got shit in the corner on blast right now, and then old 2-inch, he's a butt cheek farting, and all the fart says is they call me 2-inch, the ass kisser.
I don't think we're going to be hearing from him anymore.
No, you will. Yeah, he's just on a hiatus, man. I can't wait till he goes up on that hill, dude. I'm gonna take that fucking dude out like a bad habit.
Hey, did you send him? Did you send him and the video that we did with the beam?
I don't have access. His phone don't get texts, and he's not doing the Facebook thing right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they kind of fucked my Facebook page over after I asked Zuckerberg if he had a vest yet.
Messenger or whatever it is on Facebook. And all of a sudden I can't send him nothing, then there he is again, and there he's gone. Now I can't see him, now I can. It was like, what the hell are you doing? And then finally I call him on the phone, he's like, oh, I don't get no text on this phone, I got one of them old phones. And I'm like, well, I can't talk to you on fucking Facebook. He goes, oh, I got banned. I'm like, son of a bitch. Oh, I always try to send him something, and he goes, no, my phone's not working. And Facebook, dude, they love him. Facebook's got a crush on Tin Man.
I think I'm gonna just put it on an SD card and send it through the post office mail then.
Oh, I thought about it.
Balance system that we have going on, how it's the simplest thing ever. It's almost something you look at and you think this shit would never fucking work. But boy, man, wasn't that the fucking key to the lock?
Oh, I already got the tube. I already got the piece of 4-inch pipe to wrap it around, and I got an extra 20 feet of coax that I'm going to wrap around on it. And I figured it's 19 wraps to get 20 feet out of it on a 4-inch tube.
Well, I thought you only needed about 9 foot on it. That's quarter wavelength. Well, whatever it be, I made a ballon one time. In the beginning and the end of the ballon, you drill 2 holes in that tube so that you can put a zip tie through it, and then it just ties it in where it can't move after that. And it won't like you slip and slide and get loose. You just, at the very end, wherever it wraps, you just kind of make a mark. You put 2 drill holes and you put the smallest black zip tie, not a white zip tie. Something about the black, the sun don't fuck it up.
Right through white.
That makes sense. And then if you wrap it up in tape after, make sure it's a good vinyl tape, and that is black tape. White tape has titanium in it to make it white, and that fucks with it somehow.
Yeah, I was thinking about wrapping it with some Super 80 and then painting over the top of that.
As long as it's not white paint. White is always titanium. Everything's titanium. Even when Bob Ross would paint paintings and he'd use white, he'd call it titanium white. And that shit always fucks with the antennas. I don't get why Antrons and IMAXs are white, because they have to use that titanium to make it white.
Because they're not using that to colorize it. The fiberglass is already white.
Oh, that makes sense then.
Come on, I would think you being a rocket scientist would know this crap like the back of your hand.
I'm just another guy down here on the valley floor trying to get another good hit of crank, okay? Don't judge me.
Oh, wait till you get a load of this Mama Surprise.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna, if I get the Mama Surprise and it's what it is, I'm going to take the coveralls out the trunk, and I'm gonna dance me a jig.
It is what it is. My, my, my.
What can you do? Nothing.
You know where you got that from me?
I believe it. Guess what? It got repeated the next day with complete authority of ownership, and I just shook my head at it. Like tag team, fag team? Come on.
Yeah, whoever gave him the right to use that. I totally made that one.
But like clockwork, man. Like the clock ticks from 1 to 2. He went and took it, because that was more than just a filler word. You know, my, it is what it is, cockroaches, the wambulance. So, yeah. The cockroach one is an old school one. You know, I deleted all that. I had to reboot my computer, and I lost the fucking Put Your Lips on My Boner song and all the other sound bites I had. I was so upset about that. My computer crashed, man. I was so pissed.
Oh shit, I've had that happen a fucking dozen times.
It's definitely a sad day to lose a piece of history like that. But now I actually got my terabyte hooked up. And then on top of my SD hard drive, the solid state, or I don't know what they call it now, I got a second hard drive in there that I put everything to, that I care for at least. For the most part, this computer is just a junk computer that I beat up. The good computer's in the house, but this is just whatever, you know. Works. Let's see, I had Skywalk on it earlier.
I tell myself I'll be, it could be the end of it. And man, I sure love getting out here and comment these.
Oh shit, it still works. I didn't know my repeat still works. It's like wires in the corner. There you go, Tin Man, say something.
Sweet fancy Moses. Sweet fancy Moses.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good was that playback? Should I put more volume on it?
A little bit more. It might be my end. It might be on my end. Sweet fancy Moses.
There you go. That's bringing my volume to 12 o'clock from 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm not giving it. You're getting too
I thought I pushed the record, but I pushed play when I recorded. Let's see, look at where this needle is pointing. Oh, that was a little bit more than 12 o'clock. I don't think you're doing all power and pointing directly at my house, so there's always going to be a little bit of static.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, you can always use the gate to compare what it is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit, that audio ain't bad at all. That's good.
Playback, I put my headphones on because that's the only way I could do my talk back. If I have my talk back where I can actually hear it, like playback, whoa! That's what happens when I turn my actual talk back on. It just goes all crazy. But it sounds actually pretty representable. Represent? Something with R.
It provides dependable representation.
I caught the very end of it. You know those cheap-ass CB buttons they use, the red and the black button, man? Sometimes they just don't fucking work. I almost forgot that I had this thing. It's off to the corner.
Yeah, and also if you hold it down too long, it'll erase what you had and start over, and you'll only have a little tap from the beginning of the last part.
I have this one. It'll do 120 seconds. It's a rip-off of the Pete Repeat. It's called a copycat, and it's yellow. With this one guy in like Pennsylvania makes them now, and he only puts one on the internet every once in a while, and he charges $30 for it, dude. And so I bought this one, and I bought another one, and I'm actually really happy with it.
So if you hold it down too long, it'll erase what you had and start over, and you'll only have a little tap from the beginning of the last part.
That's pretty clear.
Yeah, that actually sounds clearer than the Pete Repeat ones.
It does go through a little bit of processing through my computer before it goes on there. I try to do it where it pulls away a little of the highs so that the P repeat does. Because I hear that P repeat, somebody has it, and when they play something back, it just sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks playing back, and I'm like, ooh, that's, you know, you got to turn something down or something. But right now, when I can hear the headphones off to the left of me, and I understand fully clear what you're saying on the headphones.
Yeah, what did you call it? Oh, fuck. What did you call the damn thing now? God damn. What did you call it? Oh, fuck. What did you call it?
And what's interesting is you can just hold the button, and when you let go of the button, it'll always stop. It won't keep playing.
What did you call it?
It's a copycat. Copycat with 2 Ks. Copy and cat. K, it starts with a K each one. And it's a yellow one. It's always on eBay.
Yeah, 2 minutes. I can only get the repeat to go 1 minute on the long one.
I know the Pete Repeat 2 but the Pete Repeat, the PP1, and you have the PP2 or something like that. And they're like a red case. One of them can do longer, but I don't remember what they do.
The longest one of those will only do a minute. The first one will do 20 seconds or something like that. And the PP2 will do a minute. 57 seconds, I think they said.
They got one on eBay right now.
Yep, and one black is the voice, the red is the record, or the power. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Some ham operator, dude. I actually follow him on Facebook.
It sounds like it's got better quality than the PPK.
I will say that 377 right there, that's what he does for his key up, is that one. But it's not one you could just like, you'd have to add a button or something. You'd have to do something to do it, but it's more of a, like a, you record and it's a key up sound. Where'd you go, Skywalker?
I'm sitting here watching a video about Jimmy Johnson's family, I guess, committed suicide. Fucking weird, dude. I guess it just happened yesterday. Jimmy Johnson's a NASCAR driver, 7-time NASCAR Cup champion, and they found his wife's mother, father, and a nephew shot to death in their home, and they're saying it's a murder-suicide. So I'm sitting here watching this video, looking it up, because, man, it don't sound right.
So it sounds a little sketchy right there. Sounds like foul play.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's kind of weird, you know. The video I watched right now, that they said the police showed up because of 911 call. They walked in the house. They seen a body on the ground, and then they walked down the hallway and they heard another gunshot, and they found 2 other bodies, but they're not saying who's what and where the last gunshot came from. I'm like, what the fuck? Then you go to the next story that's being told about it. It's considered a murder-suicide, but they're not saying any names. It's fucking weird.
I don't know, it sounds like regular police things. I had a friend out here that had a tragedy type thing, you know. Military vet, shot a cop, and it was a tragedy, PTSD, you know. And then by the second week, he was a hardcore gangster with tattoos on his hell bent to murder everybody that had a police badge on his chest, and it just turned into something crazy. I mean, it was a shit situation, and ain't no excusing it, but it always seems like at first the picture is painted as like, hey, this is what it is, and then before you know it, it's like that's the biggest villain in the world. I hate local news, man.
Well, I'm just intrigued by it because I know Jimmy. I ain't gonna get into that, but anyways, I know that the type of person he is and the whole 9 yards. I know he's been with his wife since I want to say he married her right before his first championship, was way back in like 2003. Super into racing families, and known this guy before personally. I know him, and the whole scenario is just fucking weird. I didn't know nothing about it, so when you guys were talking, I popped on my phone and I was like, what the fuck? And got into it. It's like, yeah, publicity, fucking paparazzi, it's all fucking a joke. I'm gonna have to fucking look into it more. I'm not going to call the family, but I know people that'll know more about it than the fucking media.
You got that right. Media don't know shit. They just know what it takes to keep their fucking their channel running. That's it. And that goes with all of them now, man. Whatever it takes to keep the ratings up, nobody gives a fuck, man. It's all publicity. It's really annoying, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to finish this brisket right here. I'm going to call it a night. I'll be in touch with you tomorrow, whatever, or before it's too late. Hey, Tin Man, good talking to you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. And if you ever need anything, man, give us a holler down here. You know where we're at.
Well,
Well, you know, just remember, Tin Man, unless you say, hey, I need $1 million, I can't help you. Anything other than that, I can help you out. All right, man, you guys have a good night. We'll holler at you later. I can't help you. Anything other than that, I can help you out. All right, man, you guys have a good night. We'll holler at you later.
Radio check.
Yeah, that thing works real good, man. I prefer the sound of that than those PPK, whatever the hell they are.
Got an eBay account, but there's one for sale. And after you buy that one, and for another 6 months, you won't see another one. I really like it a lot. I got one. I haven't installed it yet, but it's going to be for my mobile. And it's, I don't know, for Skip to give people. It's not for me, really. It's not going to be a key up, but it's just to make my experience funner.
I'll use it to put in my automatic timer playback gizmo, you know, the thing that plays by itself.
When you look at his copycat with 2 Ks, copy with a K, with a K, and it's a yellow thing, 2 buttons. I really like it super a lot, man. I think it's worth it, and compared to the availability of anything that's radio anymore, it's hard to find. Even those PP1s, you can't even find the little harness thing, because some of them need a harness just to work right.
Yeah, with the little plug and shit.
Exactly that.
How many of those I threw away?
Dude, I'm sure it was like plentiful at a time and nobody even thought about it one time. Hey, Evergreen State, I hear you out here, 470 Cali. What numbers be you out there? Did you catch that, Tin Man?
No, I squelches up a little.
Hey, Evergreen State, I know you're coming through here. I don't hear you good enough. Conditions ain't that. But let me turn on my big box and at the pump house and put some good numbers on you. 470 Central Cali, trying. Oh, let me do that one more time. Put the VFO on it. Did you say 155?
But I also said the numbers are boring, and you have to have a number. You got cat box, and I'm warming up with you, so I'll be right back in your ear hole here in a moment.
Evergreen State, 321470 California Station, this side.
I think I'll stick this Antron in my tower while I got my beam out, so I'm not all shut down for a week or two.
What I would do, my beam, I'm going to have my 05 on top of my beam. I'm going to pull the ground plane kit off, put the beam there, and then retune the 05 And I'm not going to space it. It's going to be as close as possible. Again, that was all referred from Motormouth Mall. Yeah, that's what he does. He says it works just fine, no different for the Omni. Have the beam as possible and then retune the Omni. And then, because you're already going to have a metal pole above it anyways. Tin Man Station right there on the top of the Sierras.
Yeah, so you make your Omni part of the beam, and the beam becomes the radials for the Omni.
Exactly. And realistically, well, I guess if you have a gamma match, all the elements are tied into it. For me, only because I'm going to have one driver, and it's going to be set up like a dipole in a sense. That will be the only element that's going to be wonky. But the rest of it, you know, it's a 22-foot boom with a whole bunch of 18-foot elements on it, vaguely at least 18-foot. As long as you just tune the antenna to the whole situation underneath, that's your new ground plane. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know how your Antrons is, but I know I got an IMAX over here, if that Antron ain't up to snuff.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, I like that idea. And that, I bet you would even make your Omni directional, if you can see what I'm saying. Because that's the way my beam works, kind of. It's so long, it's got so much surface area, that it just picks up everything more. Everything to the right, everything to the left, everything behind. But the front overcomes everything that I pick up more. So it's like it amplifies everything else, but the front is where the barrel is. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that works out.
You just gotta, let me turn that off. You just gotta make sure that when you tune it all, it's all in that place at least. Because, you know, some people try to put the antenna a quarter wave above or 10 foot above. There's still a big metal pole there, man. Might as well be your antenna. That's the way I see it. And in the way John Bartel explained it, he was just like, just bring it all the way down and tune it, man. And then you either use one or the other. And another cool thing is just like, you know, in a tube amplifier, you got that big ass, like the best antenna switch on a switch, you know, you can put on a remote. It's pretty cool. Another one he explained to me.
I already got a big ass antenna switch on a remote.
Well, pin a nose on your or pin a rose on your nose. What kind of antenna switch is it anyways? Because that has to handle a lot of power.
It was the biggest one that DX Engineering had.
Is that like a tuner switch also with that?
No, it's got 8 different PL39 or ISO or whatever, and one in the center, so you can use 8 antennas on it. And a little wire comes in here with the control box, so 12 volts that runs out to it with like a 12-strand wire for the controller, and yeah, but it handles 10K, so there.
That's badass right there. That's fucking badass. I didn't even know they sold that. I know that they sell one that looks like a big old line that could do a whole bunch of antennas, but I never seen one on a remote like that, how you're explaining it.
Yeah, so I only got to run one wire outside for a bunch of different antennas instead of having 4 different fucking wires for 4 different antennas. You can have them all outside, and it works out a lot easier.
So I assume that wasn't cheap.
It's probably about $4.99 now.
Yeah. When I was talking to John, he said he he got one from the broadcast station he worked at, right? Who would have thought that's what his day job was? And that it was like, I guess some bill where they're like 50 ohms already going through it, or he explained this whole thing to me, and I kind of was right there. If I was in person, I'd probably say I was sitting there with glossy eyes, just kind of surprised on how it all worked, but he told me how much that one was. It was like $2,000 if he was to buy a brand new. I was like, ooh, I'll build one out of a relay like an amplifier has. But hearing what you're saying, I might just look on the MFJ site. Time is money. Sometimes money is spent better than spending time.
I don't know if MFJ will make one that'll handle. Well, I have about a capacity that's more than a regular ham operator uses.
Well, my goal is to run 5K. My goal is to have a switcher that can do 5K. I don't plan on doing anything that close, but I don't want to run something at the limit of what it takes to burn it out or anything like that. You know, you just buy something that can do more than what you need.
Always.
Hey, whenever you do your antenna, man, I know you're not trying to invite a whole bunch of people over your house, but I'd like to see something like that. The biggest antenna, all the biggest antenna moves I've ever seen around my own house, and it's far and few between when anybody does anything about antennas anymore, so, I mean, I would be much appreciated to be a part of it or just to watch it happen.
They ain't gonna be doing nothing except hanging on the side of my deck here while I fiddle fuck with it and put my level on there and whatnot. Try to get it all plumb to the earth instead of what I thought was plumb, and get it all parallel and straight. So when you look at it from down here and the sun glints off of them, but they all glint back at you at the same time instead of, you know, one and the other, and maybe know there it is, you know.
I know you say it that simple, but there's always a little bit more to it. I have to say, even just the finesse of getting it down and putting it back up and weatherproofing everything that's something to be said too. You get this oscilloscope dialed in. Oops, that's not the right one. There you go. Now we're doing box to box, about 150% modulation. Are you gonna, do you have a PL259 connection up there?
No, not on the antenna. I got one down at the bottom of the coax where it connects to the tower.
Have you ever tried nulling out your coax so that by itself it's 50 ohms?
I didn't do anything to the coax other than make the end of it so I could attach it to the gamma.
If you get your coax and, like, say, the whole process